Hello and welcome to my survival guide for Starbound, an excellent little mining and crafting game. I've already created a character, so let's just pop straight in and see what we can do. Now, we start life on our spaceship hovering above a newly generated planet. We have the quest panel, and down below we have our hunger bar, which can be prompted using the Alt key. I'm now going to demonstrate a basic technique used throughout the game. Notice how if I do not stand near an object and I point, nothing happens. But when I stand near it and point over it, if it's active it glows. Hit the E key and the magic all happens. This is our ship's locker on the right, full of our useful starting stuff, and on the left our personal inventory. We can just move the stuff into our inventory or onto the quick bar at the top, and we can dismiss the panel with the escape button or by simply clicking on the X. Our quest complete, we get a new quest. Now in the top left we have our health and stamina bars, which are useful, and our hunger bar with the Alt key, with keeping an eye on that. We activate the door in the same way that we activated the ship's locker, and here is our navigation console. And this is our navigation planet. At the moment our home planet is also the planet we are orbiting, and we can always warp back to our home planet from any planet that we're orbiting, or down to the surface of the planet we're currently over. This is the quick warp to planet button, and so with no further ado, let's warp to planet. My first survival tip is do not move far from your warp point to begin with. If you start to range now, you'll bump into monsters and you have no kit or equipment and they'll get you. Start to use your tool to hack down a tree. We need 2 pieces of resource at this stage. We need some wood and we need some stone, and I can already see a little stone handily over there on the left. Timber. I'm just going to gather that wood cautiously, leap up the hill a little, just grabbing what I've cut down, and now I'm off for some stone. Whoopsie, into the water. That's not a problem. As long as I don't stay in there long, I shan't drown. I'm going to collect the stone in pretty much the same way as collecting the wood, and I just hammer away at this for a bit. I've got what I need, so it's back to the ship. Now I'm going to bring up my personal crafting space with the C key, and I'm going to turn most of my logs into planks, but not all of them, because logs are also useful as logs for the odd thing here and there. So there we are, I've made some planks. Now I can make multiple planks, decide how many logs to turn into planks, and now I have enough planks to make a crafting table. So I select crafting table, and in the same way I create that. Now that I have a crafting table, I can use it to create my first item. So I open up my inventory, I on the keyboard, or using the little backpack symbol in the top right. I just drag it out and drop it where I like, and I'm ready to use it. I'm looking down the list for a stone pickaxe, and there it is. So I select that, and again I craft it. Now it pops into my inventory, and I'm just going to position that in my quick bar. Torch has to come out to make space, and now I'm ready to return to the planet to start some serious digging. I'm going to use my new pickaxe to just create a little space around my landing point ready for making my safety bunker, and I'm going to have this tree because it's quite close by, and I'm using the pickaxe here to bring it down. You can make an axe as well, and that will help to preserve your pickaxes, but as you can see it's not entirely required. I'm just going to hack a little more space out. It's a 6 by 6 space that's hacked, and I can also hack material from the background using the alternate click. In order to do that, I can also paint to the background with the alternate click. A little torch for some light and heat, and now I just want that material I've gathered, and that's in the second one, and I can now use that to paint a roof and a wall and create my security bunker. I just need to test that to make sure that when I walk back I am inside my bunker and not on the roof, as can happen. There we are, that's spot on. So now I can continue to extend my tunnels entirely free of monster molestation. I'm just going to hack out a little bit more space here so that I can put some equipment into my safety tunnel and some light by hacking out the background with the alternate click. Now the light of course only works during the daytime. I will need more torches in here. I just need to gather a little bit more material, so I'm going to take a risk and open the door, which I have to do by hacking it away, and I'm going to paint a little bridge here so that I don't fall in the water every time. I'm going to grab a little bit more of the stone here. Okay, so I've got my material. I'm just going to close the door by painting the wall back in, and I'm warping back to my ship ready to use the craft bench. I needed the additional materials to make the next most important survival tool, the stone hoe. So I'm going to create this on the workbench, and then I'm ready to go and plant my seeds. I'm not going to put the hoe in the quick bar. I'm just going to grab it manually and hoe with it directly out of the inventory. There we are. I've tilled the land and I'm ready to plant my seeds. The bolt bulbs are a species specific seed, although any species can eat them, and the wheat is a seed that is given to all species. It's excellent, it's fast growing, and is likely to be our survival food early on in the game. Okay, so I want to make a couple more items, and having to continually go up to the spaceship to use my crafting bench is getting tedious. So I'm going to grab my pickaxe, whack it a few times, and oh, voila, it's in my inventory. Now I'm going to place it in my security bunker, ready for use. And now that I have a crafting bench in my bunker, I don't need to visit the spaceship, and I can make a couple more things. So the first thing that I'm going to make is a campfire, which I'm not actually going to use right now, but I'm going to use it as a component in the stone furnace, which can be used for turning logs into coal, and thus you can make additional torches, 10 logs per piece of coal. So there's my completed furnace, and I just place that down, and I'm going to make one other little item, more or less for the comfort, and here I'm using the search tool to find the wooden door. I'll make one of those, and I can now put a door into my security bunker. Make sure it's one brick higher than the height of your character, and there we go, we have a door. It opens and closes. Wonderful. Now let's see if I've grown anything. Ah yes, my corn is ready. Again, it's stand near, point at, click E, and that will harvest your food for you. Now the corn unfortunately is not so much good to me without some copper, so I'm going to show you a couple of my mining techniques. I'm just digging a hole here, horizontal one, a vertical one, and I'm going to craft a few platforms. This will allow me to jump back out of my hole. You can also jump down through a platform by holding the shift key and tapping down. So my platforms are ready. I'm just going to paint that in. That means I've got a little floor there. I'm not going to fall in this hole when I try to open the door and leave the security bunker. Now I do a lot of horizontal tunneling like this around the planet. You can go around the whole of the surface, keeping safe in your horizontal tunnel. Torches every so often, just so you can see where you're going, what you're doing, and if there's any monsters in those pesky voids. So here I've done some tunneling. Unfortunately I've not found any of the copper that I need, so I'm going to use another tunneling technique, and this is the vertical drop technique. So I just start tunneling down. I'm not really worried about platforms. I just pop out torches every so often to give myself a better view through the dirt of what might be around, and then every so often I will also dig little vertical here and there, little horizontal, just to see. And I've cleared an area. And this is my technique for getting out of a hole when you didn't bring any platforms. Jump and place the dirt behind you as you jump. There we go. I can always dig that back out again if I want. I'm still hungry, so I'm going to go for my bolt bulbs, my species specific food, which I can consume without any preparation. So I just find those, and then if I see myself, I can pick them up and I can click on me, and that fills me up. I can also click on my icon in the top left hand corner of the screen if I wish to. There we go. I can now carry on. Well, thank you very much for watching my video. I hope it's given you some beginner's survival tips.